Back again to talk about that the incident that happened the other day with Trump, the attempt on his life, and some of the new details that have come out today. Sorry, I had to run and had to get cleaned up and everything, and still a little hot. Anyway, so I'm watching this Sky News report, and apparently the person who attempted to do the offing of President Trump was a man named Mathew Crooks. Isn't it interesting that almost every single assassin has a middle name? I have a middle name. I hope I don't go crazy or something. Anyway, so there was an interview with the gentleman that was outside the press, the promotional the convention that Trump was holding. He and his family were sitting outside. They wanted to hear it and eat, and they saw this man climb a roof with a gun, and they reported it to the police and everybody who they could, and no one did anything. They treated it like it was nothing, and he even said a few times that he didn't understand why no one was acting, no one was moving on it. And so that poses some questions. One, if it was a true attempt, why didn't the Secret Service move fast, right, and take any inquiry as a possible threat? The second thing is why? Was it because the Secret Service don't care about Trump's life and only moved after gunshots were fired to save face? Or was it an inside job, as in something to boost morale and support for Trump? Now, these are just questions. I am not trying to be a conspiracy theorist or anything like that. I'm just saying, this makes you think. You have to remember what I said in the last video. You got to look at both sides, right? And you got to analyze things and think for yourself. And this poses some questions. What happened? Why wasn't anything moved on when these guys first? Was it because he was wearing a MAGA hat? Was it because he looked like he was not civilized, I guess? I'm not sure. He did look like, a right side supporter, but even if it came from the right or left, it was a report on something that was suspicious activity, right? And that should be taken seriously no matter who you are. If I'm a person of color and I'm saying, hey, there's somebody climbing a roof, looks with a gun, looks like he's going to cause some problems, and they don't take me serious, that's a type of prejudice that can get somebody killed, right? And in the same token, even if it's a white guy that looks like he lives in a trailer, if he's reporting on something, it should be taken seriously. And I think this is where we fall short as Americans, that we've let prejudice take over our sense of well-being. And I see it. I see it when people talk to me, because I'm Spanish Chinese and I look Mexican, and so sometimes I'll have people speak to me in Mandarin and Cantonese. That's fine. Sometimes I have people speak to me in Spanish, and when I can't respond back, they look at me weird, right? At the same time, give you an example. Last Wednesday, when I was waiting on this construction crew to start us up, one of the construction guys pulls this picture out of the Great Wall and says, look, this is why we need the wall, because the Chinese made it 100 years ago and there's no Mexicans over there. And that offended me because, one, the United States is land of immigrants. He himself is descendant of an immigrant. He's not a Native American. The only people I would say that are natives are the Mayans and Native Americans of North America, which sad to say, the Mexican, but that's just my opinion, again. And when I see stuff like that, it makes me realize that there's a lot of prejudice out there that is unnecessary. And we might have been able to avoid all of this if they would have just listened to that guy in the interview. So it's pretty interesting at these events that are coming out. You have the media trying to spin this in a not so favorable way for Trump, and then you have people on YouTube talking about how this is going to make him immortalized. So what's going to happen next? What more details are they going to come out with this Mathew Crooks guy, right? And what a name! What a name! And I saw pictures, and I'm not going to post them or anything like that. They were gross. But I would like to see us be united in the efforts of treating everyone equal. Everyone has a hard life. We all struggle, whether it be financially, mentally, emotionally. Everybody has issues, has tribulations, and how we act on them and move forward with them in our lives shows the character that we are. Whether we do positive things or whether we treat the world negative as if we're owed something, it all depends on ourselves. And I will say right now that we aren't owed anything. And you get what you try and you do. I had an employee that was refusing to do the bare minimum. And I understand, man, it was almost 100 degrees outside. And so, you get tired and you got to sit down. And I'm not saying you can't sit down, but the rule is stand up when there's vehicles and flip that pedal. And if you can't do that and you make excuses for it, whose problem is that? Is that mine or is that yours? You're getting paid to do something. You got to do it. So with that, sorry, I'm wiping my nose. I have a runny nose. I get these clogged up nose for pretty much everything, so I have to use these nasal things like this, and this is really addictive. But once you start, you can't really stop. Maybe surgery, but that's beside the point. So I'd like to hear a little bit of your opinions on this. What do you think? Do you think it was staged? And I had a comment on my last video that Trump's trying to get immunity for all of his transgressions, right? And as a president, you have immunity for your decisions. But by the same token, you have to think, well, if he's going to be charged with this, shouldn't Biden be charged for the interference that he played in his son's treason? His son, Hunter Biden, did some very, very bad things for money. And everything's getting swept under the rug. I pay attention to little details like that. So when you think about it, we have to be fair on both sides. If you want to sue Trump for hiring a porn star to do whatever, whether he used his money or government money, that's something the court to decide, right? At the same time, if our president is changing things so that his son can get away from treason, which should deserve the death penalty, in my opinion, and if you go against the country, you shouldn't be here, and it's why we have such a great country. People have died for it, so we got to respect that. Yeah. So I really would like to hear your opinions. And, just because somebody has a different opinion, just be nice to them. Don't don't say uh, they're idiots or their opinion is retarded. It and using that word can get you into trouble too. But keep keep the dialogue respectful for them. You can tell me whatever you want. I don't care. I got a thick skin. But let's just have a conversation. Anyway, I really appreciate you watching, and I don't mean to get too political, but this is just so amazing that it has happened. I have to talk about it, and I'd like to hear y'all's opinion. Anyway, like, subscribe if you want, follow some of my other channels. I'm also on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and I just started a Kara account as well. I just have a few things on there. I'm going to be posting more, some actual work stuff as well as my art. And if you like, I do have a website. It's smartmediashorts.com, and on there I have a shop called Shark Bites Art, and you can check out some of the shirts, memorabilia. I have posters of some of the images there. It's all through print on demand. So Printful, I believe, does a lot of that. So the pricing is based off of them, and I get like maybe $1 or $2 from it, from the pictures. But I wanted to give you the best that I could out of it, so some of the pictures can get up to like $20, but it's not all coming to me. Some of it's part of the shipping and things like that. So, but any and all support is welcome. And if you need a website, I can help you out. If you need Google work, same thing. I'm here to help out as much as I can, and I really love what I do. So if, again, you want to continue this conversation, I am for it. I want to hear y'all's opinion. I love it when people respond back. It gives me hope that we can all have a civilized conversation and maybe learn something from each other, because both sides have a truth. They do. It's just whether or not we want to hear it. So drop your truth down on the comments below, and I will respond. Have a great day.